Yabu 7, an update to the situation that we're facing here in the U.S. If you missed the last video, there has been an alert put out in terms of a fuel shortage and a massive cyber attack that hit the largest pipeline in the United States. They have now, through the Department of Transportation and their Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, they have issued a regional emergency declaration for 17 states and Washington, D.C. Now, this is to keep the fuel supply lines open. Now, if you don't know, Colonial here carries 45% of fuel supplies into the eastern part of the United States of America. And they are not stating that they expect to see prices rise here in the coming days, but if this continues into next week, they will for sure expect to see prices start to rise. Now, right now, this emergency declaration covers Alabama, Arkansas, D.C., Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. They go on to state that Friday night's cyber attack is the most significant, successful attack on our energy infrastructure that has ever been known here in the United States. So this is big time and one to keep an eye on. Join me for the live stream tonight where I dive deeper into this censorship-free, only on D-Live, 9 p.m. Eastern. Links below.
Okay, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Quadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you Akim out there that's been pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Things is getting real bad. You know, we're not even in the summer. We're approaching the summer months. We still in May, which is roughly the middle part of spring. And things are getting bad. Things are heating up. Now, there has been a so-called cyber attack on the Colonial Pipeline in Pelham Junction, which is bullshit, I think. What they're doing is hyping up the fuel prices, and because let me say this, today I went to go get some gas. Now, and I had a half a tank of gas. So I said, you know what? I see there's lines and lines of people approaching the gas station. Now, mind you, I live across the street from the gas station, so I'm seeing the prices. Now, yesterday, I didn't get any gas because it was like I had a little bit more than a half a tank. So I didn't bother to get gas. I say I'll wait till Friday, you know, because I'm not going anywhere, you know. So yesterday, gas was the price of gas was $3.39 for premium a gallon. Today, I get up, I'm checking the news, alternative news, and I say, you know what, let me go check across and see what the gas prices is. So I go across the street, $3.70, $3.69 for premium a gallon. I walk to BP Petroleum, which is like 4 blocks from me. Same thing. $3.70 a gallon. Yesterday, it was like $3.39. So that should jump like 30 cents. I mean, this is crazy, man. This is crazy, but this is the times we living in. You know? These are the plagues that's coming upon America. And part of that plague is fuel shortages, man. And guess what's going to happen? These trucks are not going to be able to bring in them goodies because the fuel is too high. It's going to cause a famine. Not to mention hyperinflation. Food prices reaching, it's skyrocketing. So, hey, man, we in the pitiful case, man. We in the pitiful case. But, hey, this is good news to the men of the Lord. This is good news from the men of Great Millstone, from the Apostles of Hall on down. This is beautiful news, man. We loving it. Why? Because we know that, hey, this is a time where, hey, the Lord is starting to, ramp things up. Look what's going on in the Middle East, where them gutter rats is dwelling. Rocket attacks upon rocket attacks. Cyber attacks, so-called cyber attacks on the colonial pipeline. Hyperinflation. The economy is spiraling, out of control. Somewhat like spiraling, circling the drain. All kind of things is happening, man, right now, man. That's why 2nd Ezra 9:1, we ought to measure the times diligently in itself. And we see uproars of the people. There's earthquakes. There's storms and tempests. We see all these things coming to pass, man. So that's why we ought to measure the times, man. Watch the news and marry it with the scriptures. Like the Apostle Tahar always bring out. Whatever happens in this society, you have to marry it with the scriptures, man. You got to look at it on a spiritual basis, man. Everything. Everything. So now we see the gas prices is rising, which is going to probably bring, if it keep on rising, these trucks are not going to be able to afford to go from point A to point B. People going to be stuck, and that means they ain't going to bring no food into these supermarkets, man. Which, mind you, only have 3 days supply of food. So all the goodies is going to come to a halt. And therefore, that's going to produce a famine. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 12. Because we see what's coming down the pike, man. We have been warning y'all, week in and week out, putting up videos throughout the week, starting from the apostles on down. We've been warning y'all of coming food shortages, hyperinflation, rising food prices. Whereas if you got $100, you probably lucky you come out with a bag of groceries. And you go to Aldi's, and I got a line of lamb, something similar to lamb chops, 4 pieces, 4 small pieces, $13, 13 and some change for 4 small pieces, even though they thick. But guess what? That's crazy, man. Look at butter, milk. All these prices has risen, man. A loaf of bread, damn near $5, man. For some decent potato bread, so-called organic, $5, damn near. So you got rising food prices, oil shortages, uproars of the people. You have food shortages, man. Like I mentioned, things are getting bad in America. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn. It reads, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plagues and the punishments that the Lord Yahweh shall bring upon it. And part of them plagues is rising fuel prices, hyperinflation, where the dollar is not worth more than toilet tissue. We have a situation throughout America, protesting. You have uprising of the people. So Egypt is definitely in a mournful state right now. Egypt being America. And you people have no clue, man. We're approaching the summer months, man. And you think everything is going back to normal because they opening up these restaurants, man. They opening up things, so they setting you up. Setting you up for what they use something called gradualism. They gradually opening things up to gradually put you in a bind, to entrap you. This is what we see coming down the pike. And we're not ignorant, pursuing the 2nd Corinthians chapter 2 and 11 of Satan's devices, man. We see Esau's devices, how he's moving. So back in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that the Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, and those that till the ground are farmers, man. And they definitely in a mournful state because the ground's not producing the proper crops for them to make money. Because was proper to slack it. Cause how can I say it? What words can I use? Contrary to popular belief, there has been floods that has destroyed millions of acres of crops. There has been floods that destroyed or drowned millions of cattle. And this happened a couple of years ago. But Esau had a food supply that was stocked up. And now that food supply is starting to dwindle. So that's why you see hyperinflation, rising food prices. And you see these grocery stores, when you go in the grocery store to buy, a gallon of milk, it's going to cost you. For some potato bread, organic potato bread, nice fluffy sized big chunks of bread, damn near $5. $4.49, $4.59. In some cases, $4.99. A penny short of $5. That's hyperinflation. That's rising food prices. And it's only going to get worse, man. It's only going to get worse. And there's nothing you people could do about it. Why? Because this is prophecy. This is prophecy. So it reads, they that till the ground shall mourn for the seeds, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting of hell, and with the fearful consolation. Woe to them, woe to the world, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe means destruction to the world and them that dwell therein, man. All you see is uprising of the people. All you see is death, destruction, rioting, sedition, wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, on a small level famine, hyperinflation, rising of food prices. The dollar is not worth toilet tissue. Real currency is silver and gold, like the apostles always bring out. So this paper monopoly money is not going to do you no good, man. So it reads, back in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. And that's class of civilizations or a race war. Different factions of people from different ethnic backgrounds come at each other to do each other in with any kind of instrument that's going to do bodily harm, whether it's a gun, a bat, a chain with spikes on it, your chain and ball with spikes on it, a chain, whatever they can get to cause bodily harm, man. It says, for the sport and their destruction draweth near, and one people shall stand up to fight against another with swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition among men, an uprising against a monarch or a government. And that you see going on throughout the four corners of the earth. And that you see going on in a small portion in America, man. But it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. We've been telling you these things. It's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. We're approaching the summer. And things heat up in the summertime. It tends to heat up in the summertime. And we see it. We see it already. With rising food prices, rising gas prices, rising food prices, rising gas prices is going to produce a famine. Because once the trucks can't afford to bring them goods from the West Coast to the East Coast, it's going to cause a problem. It's going to cause a problem, a big problem. You see, we're looking forward to this. But the 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, y'all going to get caught off guard. Because you think everything is going back to normal. You think everything is good, man. The book of Sirach 11, verse 25. In the day of your prosperity, there's a forgiveness, roughly paraphrasing that scripture. In the day of prosperity, there's a forgiveness of affliction. But in the day of affliction, there's no more remembrance of prosperity. So you'll remember that, man. Because right now, you're in your prosperity mode. You think you're in your prosperity mode. You're receiving these stimulus checks from Money Bag Joe, as y'all call him. You Negroes are simple, man. You Negroes and Hispanics are simple, man. On down to you Native Americans, you're all simple. You have not a clue what's going on. But you will. And you will learn the fear of the Lord, man. It says, for there shall be, back in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. You're going to be invading one another's privacy, going to each other's houses, kicking their door down, taking their goods, doing that which seems right in your own eyes. You may snatch with their daughter, papa, whatever the case may be, man. It's not going to be good, man. Everything is going downhill from here on out, man. And it's been going downhill, man. 2nd Ezra 8 and 50, them great miseries that's approaching is going to slap you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans upside your head. And you're not going from whence it's coming. But we've been warning y'all. We've been warning y'all. Have you been taking heed? Only the elect is going to take heed. But the rest is going to fan their hand and scoff and scorn and get caught up. And that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. The 2/3 is going to get got. Bottom line. And when y'all get got, you're going to get fucked up. Excuse my French. It says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Do you think these Jakes is going to regard what Mayor de Blasio have to say? Or what Andrew Cuomo have to say? Or furthermore, what Joe Biden have to say, man? They're not going to regard their kings nor their princes, man. These mayors, these governors, the president, these government officials, they're going to say, listen, man, kiss my ass, man. I got a family to feed, man. And they're going to do what they got to do. It says, in the course of their actions to stand in their own power. They're going to do what they got to do, man. The hell with the government, man. I got mouths to feed. The hell with the government, man. I got a family to provide for, man. And that's how it's going down. It says, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. Hey, rising food prices, rising oil prices, fuel prices, martial law, cities being locked down. When you try to flee one city from going to Brooklyn to Manhattan, you're not going to be able to cross the bridge because you're going to have a military garrison set up right there where you can't pass. And you got to have the proper papers and have the legitimate excuse on why you trying to cross this bridge. Other than that, they're going to turn you around or gun you down. So it reads, a man shall desire to enter to a city and should not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Trouble with what? Uprising, sedition, martial law, chaos, death, and destruction. The city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All these tough Tonys out there, they're going to be scared like women. In that day, these women going to automatically step in line and remember that they nothing but women. Feeble, weak women. And they're going to fall in line when they see these strong, so-called strong-ass men allegedly weeping and wailing and being afraid like women. They're going to be like, oh, Lord. Who they going to seek for? They're going to seek for a strong man, a man of the Lord. That's what they're going to seek for, man. But a lot of them, it's going to be too late. They're going to get caught up and they're going to get killed, caught off to concentration camps. A lot of these women. Because most of these men that you got, they feeble, effeminate, and they're going to get put to death. And that's this prophecy. That's just the bottom line, man. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And what's going to happen with that? How that's going to take place? Hey, man, when that famine and all hell break loose, man, and there's no way when the cities are carted off and there's no way for you to get any food, there's no food in the grocery stores, there's no food in the garbage cans, there's no more substance in your crib, you're going to lose it. And what you're going to do is, you're not going to have no pity upon your neighbor. Your neighbor may have some grub in his crib. You smell that sweet, savory meat cooking. What you're going to do, you're going to knock on his door and ask him for a plate. He may feed you, but after a while, man, he got a family. So what you gonna do, you're gonna get upset and mad because he's not giving you no more substances, and you're gonna try to take his shit, man. And that's how it's gonna go down, man. And it reads, a man should have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what's coming. Great tribulation, man. I'm gonna read that again. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, kicking their door, whether they got a pipe, a shotgun, whether they got a sword, an actual sword, knives, brass knuckles, whatever they have, that could cause bodily harm, man. They're gonna come up in your crib, man. If you ain't strong, if you weak, you one of them weak, feeble ass niggas, you gonna be got, man. Whatever you got is gonna be taken, and you're gonna get got, and you may see your wife get raped right in front of you, and your children. That's how bad it's gonna be out here. So it reads, a man should have no pity upon his neighbor. That's not having pity. Kicking in the man's door, taking his substances, raping his wife, raping his children in front of him, taking his goods. And there's gonna be no power in that weak, feeble, effeminate man hands to do anything. Because you niggas out here nothing but a bunch of effeminates, man. Hoe ass niggas. Claiming to be tough, but in that day, men shall be afraid, and you're gonna be one of them. Nigga. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what's coming, man. Great tribulation. I'm gonna drop down to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 24. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. Woe means destruction to them that sin. And the only ones that can sin are you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Those that's a part of Israel, man. Israel in the whole, man. Israel in the whole. But the 2/3, this is mainly directed toward the 2/3. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. And 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, you despise the words of the Most High, man. But you cling unto Esau's wicked ass ways, man. And your deeds have surpassed the deeds of Esau, who is the wicked. That's why it reads in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 24. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from defile not my sanctuary, man. Go your way, man. Serve the Lord or do what you do. Because you're going to be judged for that, man. It says, verse 26. For the Lord Yahweh knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. That's what's coming. I'm going to read it again so it can sink in. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 26. For the Lord Yahweh knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. Verse 27. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye will remain in them. For the Lord Yahweh shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. That's talking about you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. That's a part of the 2/3 club, man. 2nd Ezra 8 and 50. Them great miseries are coming.